The following is the winning story from the last Kita prompt stream ever to be hosted by the series' original creator. It is a love letter to the writing community that he created and the friendships we forged. Future episodes will be hosted by me, Struggle Buggo, live on Twitch. But the weekly challenge will retain his name as we continue. Without further ado, KitaWrites, written by Dylan Putnam, performed by Gabriel Apland. I've hit this start streaming button hundreds or even thousands of times, and every time I'd see everyone's names light up the chat like stars in the sky I'd never thought I'd see. Today was just like any other. It needed to be. I woke up to the same normal sunlight bleeding through the curtains and the same Dune letting me know he was ready to go outside. Mick was already awake. I could hear the soft dinking of her spoon in her coffee mug and the gentle creak of the kitchen floor. I stayed in bed longer than I should have. I needed to go to the gym, but I couldn't force myself up. Because if I did, then I was actually admitting that today was the day. But it was. That felt weird to even think. When I finally dragged myself to the office, I stared at the setup like it was some kind of monument. I sat down, fingers hovering over the mouse, just breathing. You don't realize how loud your life is until you just sit there and absorb the quiet. I booted everything up with muscle memory. OBS, Discord, Chrome. I could do it with my eyes closed, and yet every action sent a searing pain through my heart. Mick poked her head in. "You eating anything before you start?" I nodded, forcing a smile. "Yeah, I will." She smiled and disappeared again. She's been so good to me through all of this. Supportive in ways I really didn't deserve. I delayed stream by 15 minutes. Then another 10. And finally, I sighed. I hit start streaming and gave myself to Struggle Buggo, D-Not123, Missy Reads, Mama Buckle, Textual, and the others one last time. They flooded in fast. Faster than usual, that's for sure. People I hadn't seen in a month or two. Old friends and lurkers who finally unlurked. The screen flew by in a blur of messages. "No way! It's really the last one? Been here since day one!" "Don't make me cry, bro." I smiled. I really did. Because I meant it whenever I said this place saved me. These usernames, these voices in chat, they showed up when no one else did. Back when the self-doubt was louder than I could talk over. Back when unemployment and waiting for OPP stretched longer than I could handle. Streaming was a way to be seen without having to explain the broken parts. I read out the names I hadn't said in a while. Spicy Senpai, Viking, Mama Rednacks, people who used to be here every day. Some moved on. It just happens. Midway through, our usual culprit, Struggo, donated with a message.
"Your lifelong friend, even though you're a cop pig now. Jokes aside, thank you for coming into our lives."
I stared at that for a long time. Longer than I probably should have. Just letting it land. Letting myself believe that I actually mattered. As we neared the final hour, the reality began to settle in for everyone. "You'll still be online sometimes, right? You'll still be active on the Discord, right? When are reads?" Trav. I didn't have answers. Hell, I still don't. The truth is, I'm scared. I make a big show of saying how excited I am. Deep down, I still worry for the future and about this big change. OPP is my dream, and I'm so glad I got in, but stream and chat have been a part of my life for the past 6 months. And that's a big thing that won't be there anymore. Near the end, I turned the camera off. Definitely not because I was crying, but because I wanted everyone to hear me. Just hear me. Frankly, I don't know what happens next. With the baby and OPP and just life. There's a lot of change coming my way, but you guys have helped me in ways unimaginable. You all became a light that I could never expect to find. You made me feel like I wasn't alone, and that... I took a deep breath, forcing back tears. That's more than I ever thought I'd get through streaming. The chat slowed, and people said goodbye. Some just said thank you. Others, see you in the Discord, bro. I let the silence stretch on, and then, quietly from the doorframe, Mick spoke up. Josh, you ready? I didn't turn around, but I nodded, smiling. Yeah, I think I am. From your community. From the bottom of everyone's heart, thank you, Josh, Kita. You have done more for us than I'm sure you even know. You've helped me in ways that I can't even begin to explain. Whenever you think you're alone, or that you're worried about life, just know that you have a community of people who will always have your back, rage baiting aside. I couldn't ask for a better friend. No, a better brother. We love you. From Writer's Den. This was KitaWrites, written by Dylan Putnam and performed by Gabriel Apland. If you like the story, you can check out other episodes or more work by Dylan Putnam, linked in the description. Especially check out their work, The Brothers Umbra, on Royal Road for free. This story and others come from a writing prompt challenge where our community votes on their favorite every week. Tune in next week for the next winner or participate live on Twitch. Anyone can submit for free and show the world a story worth hearing. This week's prompt was, "And so this is goodbye." See link in the description.